Hey, what's up?
In my girl bags, yeah, they have everywhere. Her body's silky smooth and she don't wear underwear. Take her to a party, then I take her to the show. Never have to ask, cause she's always good to go. Rest of the best, your mouth is nice tight. Deep in hairless, her back door's out of sight. Let me tell ya, baby, are you ready? I'll blow up ready. Never put business, she's up ready. When it comes to love, then you know what's next. That's why I love you, I'll blow up ready. Baby, are you ready? I'll blow up ready. Never put business, she's up ready. When it comes to love, then you know what's next. That's why I love you, I'll blow up ready. Late Friday night, man, nothing new. So I dragged out Betty for a little rendezvous. But to my dismay, she was fast with me. She must have sprung a leak, so I guess it's all up to me. Took her to the store for a little rubber blue. And the patchwork kid that the main for in the tubes. I took her to the station, opened up there. And when she was ready, yo, I took the girl up there. You let me tell ya, Benny, you're the best, I'll blow up Betty. Little put the Benny, she's up on Betty. When it comes to love, Benny, you know steady. That's why I love you, I'll blow up Betty. Benny, you're the best, I'll blow up Betty. Little put the Benny, she's up on Betty. When it comes to love, Benny, you know steady. That's why I love you, I'll blow up Betty. Playing with my best when I put her on the floor. She must have hit the nail because she flew right out the door. Now I'm all alone, yo, my Betty, she's gone for good. It sure be hard to face face where you stop putting the wood. Let me tell ya, Betty, yo, you ready? She's a blow up Betty. Little put the Betty, she's up on Freddy. When it comes to love, baby, you're no steady. That's why I love you, my blow up Betty. Betty, are you ready? She's my blow up Betty. Little put the Betty, she's up on Freddy. When it comes to love, baby, you're no steady. That's why I love you, my blow up Betty. She can kill my dreams. Yeah, she meets the seams. Laugh like me, girl. You know, stand up.
Whoa! Almost fell off the chair. Why is the internet so slow? Sorry. What's up, everybody? That song was a jam, right? I think the internet's slow. I don't know what's going on. Oh, wait. Oh, where did the screen go? What's up? Hi, everybody. Thanks for, excuse me, joining me live for my Sunday live stream. Sorry, my chat, like on live on StreamYard, it's super slow. I can't see anything. I got to do my patented opening move. What's up, guys? I got two cool guests for you guys tonight. I'm going to bring them on right now because I've been talking to them already, and they're super awesome. I'm having a fun time talking. Hey, Gamevet.
How's it going, everybody?
Hi, how are you?
Good,
hey, look,
good.
It's Greenman and Gamevet. What's up?
Oh.
Hey. Hi, guys. We were listening to Greenman music at the opening. He was jamming. That was fun, right, Gamevet?
Yeah, that was awesome. We were both headbanging.
So let me say hi to everybody. So we got on my left, right here, here's Gamevet. You guys say hi to Gamevet. He's from Minnesota.
How you doing?
He sees UFOs. We're gonna talk about it. And then below me, right down here, right here is Greenman. Check him out. He sees UFOs too. He was on a show called UFO Buster Dark Horde Saturday night stream last night, and it was a really great show. He was like a triple threat there. He was a guest, and he was playing music, which we just heard, and then he was chatting in the chat room on top of it all.
Yes,
What's up,
and all
What's up,
Tom Selleck impersonation.
Yes.
Yeah. The Tom Selleck. That's cool.
Oh man, I was laughing my ass off when he said that. And he said he sounds just like Tom Selleck.
Yeah,
what? Wait a minute. Hold on here. I got to hear that again. I had to rewind it.
Greenman sounds like Tom Selleck to me. I don't know why. It's weird.
Yeah.
But hey, Greenman, I'm gonna start out with Gamevet. I want to talk to him a little bit because he had emailed me a long time ago. I mean, back in the day, right? Gamevet. We used to talk.
Yeah.
Maybe what, 9 years ago or so?
Yeah, back when you were first starting producing your movies, your videos, you were actually posting them once every day or every other day, and every video that you posted, I'd comment on it. I'd say, "Hey, wow, that's cool, man. Where'd you see that?" You know, things like that. And I couldn't get enough of it, so I was waiting every day to, see your new videos coming out.
You know, there was a good time and a bad time. It was fun to see all the UFOs flying over, but I was in a lot of pain during those 3 years. You know, I had told you guys I had 3 back surgeries in a row, and it really knocked my socks off. And I was in the backyard just chilling every day. I had nothing better to do, you know. So, when do you? All right, let's go back to the first time. Gamevet. Let's go back to the first time back in 1994. And Greenman, join in anytime you want, buddy, if you got something to say.
I want to hear your stories too.
All right. So back in '94, me and my buddy, we were out camping on 5 acres of land. And we were in a tent, and we were just about to, turn in for the night. We already had a bonfire, made s'mores and all that stuff. So we got in the tent. We were just sitting up talking a little bit, and I once in a while I talk with my hands. I'm like this, hey, what's going on or whatever. And I had my hand up like this as I was talking, and all of a sudden this light slowly turned on, just whoa, and all of a sudden it turned off. And I shit you not, when I had my hand up here, I could almost see through it. You know when you hold a flashlight to your hand, to the back of your hand, you can see red. How white it is, or what, you can see the color through it or whatever. That's how bright it was. It was like that bright, super bright, brighter than an LED light, just a white light. And all of a sudden it just shut off. We're like, what the fuck was that? And my buddy says, I don't know. So all of a sudden it happened again. The light just turned on again, and then it shut off. We were both just still sitting there, and we're like, what the fuck is going on? He says, I don't know. I said, do you think somebody's messing with us with a spotlight? He says, I don't know, maybe, I said, I'm going to see what's going on. So I ends up the tent and went outside. I didn't see a damn thing. And it was like 2 a.m, pitch black outside, 5 acres of land, nobody around us at all. And all of a sudden the light turned on again, just whoa, and it came from up above in the sky. Didn't see any stars, nothing. No birds chirping, nothing, no sounds. The light came on. It came on real slow, just boom, And then as far as the eye could see, I could see the airport. We have a little airport in Lake Elmo down there. And you could actually see it was brighter than 12 o'clock p.m. And this light lit up the whole area as far as the eye could see. It looked like it was daylight outside. And all of a sudden the light would shut off, and it was just pitch black. And then all of a sudden the light would turn on again, but it wasn't right here. It was over here. And then it would shut off, the light would turn off, then the light was over here. So every time it would turn off and turn on, it would be in a different location. And it was almost like it was synchronized, flashing in different spots of the sky. Then soon after that, it didn't flash anymore. But then at the end of the road, we heard this loud. I don't know if you guys. I'm sure everybody's heard the some of the Bigfoot cries and yells and stuff like that. They're just eerie.
Oh yeah.
we actually heard this loud, ungodly, guttural scream. And with that scream, it was like, wah! You know, I can't even make up the sound, but whatever that was, I said, okay, that's it. We got in the car and we got the hell out of there. So,
So the
I mean,
sound sounded supernatural. It sounded scary, like really
oh
scary.
yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, you know how in horror movies where the girl comes up or the girl ghost comes up and screams, that is nothing compared to what we heard.
I saw a video on I think Live Leak the other day, and it had said it was a chupacabra, and it shows a cop walking up to like check us. It's probably an old video, but then this cop walks out of his car and he goes up to the fence and he hears this God unreal scream, you know, from some sort of a beast, and he just turns around and it's like, oh, I'm out of here. Did it sound something similar like that? Oh my God, I got
exactly. It was like high pitched, then it went to low pitched, then high pitched again, and then had this crackle like you know, it was just insane. And I said, okay, well, we're done. We're done. That's it.
Greenman, have you ever seen any lights in the sky that have resembled something similar, or have you ever heard any weird cryptid screaming in the background anywhere? Does Greenman got me on? You can hear me, Greenman.
I can hear you.
Did you hear the question?
I'm kind of like just kind of like sitting here listening to the whole thing.
Have you ever seen any crazy lights in the sky, or have you ever heard any weird cryptids yelling in the background?
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Well, I've seen a few weird lights. Bigfoot is one thing I have yet to come across. I'd like to. That'd be kind of neat.
Yes.
But yeah, UFOs, something kind of similar to what Gamevet was talking about. Only it wasn't like circling me. I was out here along the coast. There's Sunset Cliffs in Ocean Beach. It's like a drop off right off to the ocean, and it was me, a friend, and an ex. We were out there one night just hanging out, and I look out over to the water and I see one, like it was bright white light with like a red center. And I'm like, well, that's kind of weird because it was too far out for like a lighthouse or something, and it was too far up for a fishing boat. So I'm just kind of like keeping an eye on it. And I stood in the same place and used and kind of kept track of its position by a street sign that was there. And it would just kind of sit there and pulse for a while, go away, but then it would come back at a different place in relation to the street sign. You know, it did that 5 or 6 times, and we're all sitting there, we're like, you know, all got into watching it. I'm telling her, I'm like, all right, just stay put. So you're seeing it in the same spot, seeing if it's moving or if it's just us or something. And yeah, man, the thing just kept on hopping around. You know, just go in, sit there, pulse for a while, disappear.
Now,
pulse, disappear.
Now, Greenman, a lot of people say that aliens are from way too far to even make it to Earth. What is your response to that?
Well, that's by judging our technology. You know, it's like for us, yeah, no way. You know, at least not that anybody's fessing up to. But we're thinking on our rules. You know, what we've made. If they're millions of years older than us, they have got to have come up with something a lot trickier than what we have. So, you know, if they're traveling that far, they've got to have something. Probably, I would, you know, guesstimate like some type of space folding system, you know, or creating a black hole to link 2 spots and just, instantaneously, what would take us 10,000 light years would be, 30 seconds through a wormhole.
Right.
Now, Gamevet, what do you think on that thought of aliens might be too far to get to Earth?
I think they're already here, because in one of my sightings I've seen, I've actually had one kind of toy with me going down the highway, and that's one of the most interesting stories I've ever had, and that's the one I sent to MUFON. And I know people talk about dots and all that stuff, and this was actually a black dot. And I don't know if you want me to go into the story now or not, but
go ahead. Yes, buddy.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right. So
please.
So, okay. So a few years ago, I was delivering I used to drive a straight truck for a bagel place. And I was sitting at the stoplight, and my stop was right on the other side of the highway there. And I was sitting at the stoplight, and there's other people, it was a four-way. And I'd look up, I just kind of was sitting back, I was waiting for this light. I'm like, oh my God, is this light going to change, just like everybody does. And I happened to see something on my windshield, and I'm like, what is that? And here's just a tiny, tiny speck, just a tiny little speck, like the period of on your computer here. And I kind of get closer to the windshield, and what is that? Is that on the window? And I touched the window, and it wasn't that. And all of a sudden, it started moving counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, and I would stop. I'm like, what? And then I did it again. 1, 2, 3, and stop. I'm like, that's not on the windshield. And I was going like this, and all of a sudden I did it again. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. And then I looked over, and I saw the light was changing yellow to red. Like, crap, I gotta go. And all of a sudden I did it one more time. And it would stop. And then when the light turned green, there was another dot that actually flew up right to this dot. Then it did it. 1, 2, 3, stop. And then this one did it. 1, 2, 3, stop. By that time the light turned green, like, I'm trying to grab my phone, and I'm thinking, God dang it. So I couldn't get my phone. I go to the stop, unload my trailer, and then I get back on the highway, and I was thinking maybe I'll see it again. I get on the freeway going back to St. Paul, and I'm looking around in my windshield and all that, and I don't see it. I don't see anything. I'm like, God dang it, where did you go? I just said, where did you go? That's the most interesting thing I've ever seen in my life. And all of a sudden, lo and behold, here comes a little dot right in front of my windshield, and it was pretty much in the same location where it was. And I was getting up to speed, and then the thing kind of hung there. So then I got up to 65 miles an hour. I'm like, well, it looked like it was kind of coming back a little bit. Like, well, let me see if I can catch up to you. So I hit that pedal. Of course, the truck isn't fast. So the truck's kind of just putzing along. All of a sudden, it just kept the same speed I was. I'm like, all right, so you want to play games? So I was actually talking out loud. And I said, okay, you want to play games? Well, here's a game for you. So I took my foot off the gas, slowed down. I hit the brakes a little bit, and all of a sudden that thing slowed down. As soon as I took my foot off the gas pedal, it slowed down, kept the same speed I was going. And I said, all right, let's do this again. So I hit the gas, the truck sped up a little bit, and then it sped up. So I was doing the same exact thing I was doing down the road. Now I got real close to the cities, and once you get into the cities, the highway actually goes right around the one side of St. Paul. Well, there's two big buildings there, and this dot, whatever it was, it went right in between the buildings. And gutter, you should know that that's a no-fly zone. You can't fly in between buildings in a city like that. So I'm thinking, yeah, that's not one of ours. But then it was gone.
That's awesome. I love that story. You know why? Because there's a lot of synchronicity in it. The UFOs that I see, they do a lot of toying. They do like to show off some personality, and they will do some things like that. Well, they'll follow you and they'll speed up, or they'll show up. A lot of UFOs that I see, they like to surprise me. They like to show up and see me like, oh my God, what the hell is that? For some reason, they find some enjoyment in that. But from the first part of your story, when you said they were syncing up and synchronicities, doing similar patterns.
Yeah.
Totally, UFOs do that. They for some reason follow patterns, and they appear geometric, in my opinion. Greenman, do you have any thoughts or feelings about synchronicities or geometric patterns of UFOs, or seeing them as alike?
Well, I think like the geometric patterns and stuff like that. I think we see a lot more of that with like the crop circles, But it's it's synchronized, whether they're flying in movement, It's like we do it, It's shit, they got to have some kind of entertainment at some point. That's why they're fucking around with Gamevet, on the down the road. And,
it's like us getting up and I don't have to watch, or I don't have to go to work today, so I'm gonna sit down in my chair and watch Seinfeld for a half hour, and then get up and make dinner or something. So then they're like, okay, well, let's come here and see what these people are doing. It's almost like it's like they're watching TV, but they're watching us.
Yeah.
It's funny that you both have said that, because when I was chilling out in the backyard for years and years, just looking up, when they did appear to me, I always got that impression when I saw a different looking craft fly over. I always got the impression that, this must be some sort of ET cruise liner, like a ocean cruise liner that just cruises over and it's checking us out. I highly believe that, So when you guys say that to me, I completely agree. That's some good insight on your guys' behalf.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely keeping an eye on us.
Oh yeah.
But for what reason? What is the point? Why not interact with us? Everybody sees them. Why aren't they helping humanity, and why aren't they interacting? Does anybody want to chime in on that one?
Well, the conspiracy story goes, I mean, they have been interacting with, for a long time. You had the whole secret Eisenhower meeting back in, I think it was like early mid 50s, where he was in Palm Springs and he just disappeared for like
the interaction I'm talking about is like daily life interaction. How come it's all secretive, and how come it's not daily interaction?
I still think society as a whole isn't ready to like really accept it. It's slowly been broken in, and hey, we got movies in the 50s about Martians, and then you get different more alien movies, and then ET. Oh well, maybe ET aliens aren't all bad, and their little fingers glow and they can heal things and eat candy and shit. And then you get it's slowly breaking people into the idea. Because you just drop all of a sudden out of nowhere. It's too much of a drastic change for people to really soak in without immense shock value.
Well, that here too, I think some of the people, like they say, there's certain people that can see them and other people can't. And after seeing those dots sitting at the or the stoplight there, Chuck Family says, I'll go home. But after seeing those dots, at the stoplight, I think with everybody that I saw sitting at the stoplight, nobody saw it at all. But I saw it, and I'd look around. I'm like, people, what, you don't see this right up here? They're so focused on what they're doing.
Let me stop you there too, Gamevet, because I have similar experience where, for some reason, lots of people, even if it's sitting there in the sky, might not be able to see it. Like, I've seen tons of UFOs with witnesses next to me, but then there's sometimes when a person will either mentally block it out, like they don't want to accept it, or maybe there's something where the UFO just blocks them, sort of like a YouTube channel block. Do you think that's possible, Gamevet, that maybe UFOs only show themselves to who they want to specifically?
I think so, because there's a lot of times where I'll want to see one and I'll have my phone ready and I'm ready to go. It's like, okay, come on, show yourself, and then they won't do it. just because of when I've said that, there's been other people on the road. Like right now, I have this new route. I haven't seen one since I started it. But I can tell you the highway that I've seen everything, and I haven't seen a soul on the road, and that's when I see the stuff the most. So I
Right.
honestly think that they do want to just show themselves to the people they want to show themselves to.
What about you, Green Man? What do you feel on
Yeah,
that?
you have to be open to it. I mean, if you know, it's the same thing. You know, if somebody that's not ready to see it, you will either look at it and say, "Oh, well, that's just a balloon," or that's or not see it at all. You know, just because their mind, you know, they see something but they can't comprehend it. It goes against what they think, what they believe, or you know, whatever. And it's just kind of like, you know, ostrich syndrome. Heads in the hole, not there, doesn't, you know, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it doesn't involve me. No, get the hell out of my way so I can do my own shit.
Now, do you guys ever think this will become a common day, everyday reality for humans in the, let's say, United States or the whole world, wherever? Do you think that people will begin to finally start seeing this phenomenon more and more? And go ahead, Gamevet.
Oh, I don't know, man. It's that's a tough one. It really is.
Just go ahead and say what you first think about it. Do you think it's a possibility or not?
I mean, it's possible, but I think what you're saying is true too. Though, is that people have to be open to it. You know, I think they have to put their, you know, their what do you want to call it? You know, people are so religious, and I think that if they put their religion off to the side or just kind of, you know, tuck it away, just, you know, more, you know, think more open on the situation, I think they'd actually see more stuff.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Like
And I think,
you have to be open to it for sure.
yeah, I think religion has a big part of it, though. I think if somebody's really out there, you know, they're really sticking to their beliefs, they're just gonna shut that whole concept off altogether.
yeah. That's when I talk to the guys at my work that are religious about it. You know, I'm like, you know, some of the guys are just no, it's all demons. You know, hey, that's their thing. Cool, whatever. But you know, a couple of the guys are open, and you know, you can talk to them. And like, you know, dude, if anything, you got to think of it this way: if you're saying, you know, God just created us, it's a waste of his fucking time. You know, give the guy more credit than you're giving him. If anything,
Right.
you know, why is he just going to stop here? He made it the entire universe to look at one grain of sand, essentially. You know, dude, you know, if he's hot, dude, he's got to be doing other stuff too. You know, give him more credit than you're giving him because, you know, the Bible, dude, it's been censored by the Vatican so hard over the centuries. You know, it's not the same book it was when it was originally.
Right.
You know, because in the original Bible, you had the Book of Enoch, which, dude, came out and was talking about Enoch getting on crafts with with creatures that came from the sky and flying up through space and seeing all this shit.
Yeah.
Cut it out.
Yeah. Even, well, I mean, somebody told me something a long time ago, which I thought was very fascinating, and I don't know how to take it. I mean, you could take it either way, but, you know, they said, you know, the book is a book. Anybody could write it. So, I mean, you know, I could write a book too, and it doesn't mean anything unless, you know, somebody's really, they believe that that's what's actually accurate or true.
No. What do you guys actually think that ETs might be demons? One word answer. Go ahead, Green Man.
No.
What do you think, Game Vet?
Yeah, I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think they're just travelers that just want to check out new stuff, you know. Then,
So you guys think that's more of a religious dogma from humans thinking that that's the sense or case?
yeah, I just think that you know we don't understand them at all. You know, we have no idea about them. They have no idea about us. It's like, you know, me and my buddy, we heard that noise that could have been saying, you know, them saying, "Hey, how are you doing?" are we to know that that guttural scream is a hello, how are you doing? Nice to meet you. You know, we don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you just don't know. So there's kind of a little bit of a, I'm sure, a language barrier there, but some of them, but again, you know, with the dots, it's almost as if they could read my mind. So that's where I think that they come from all different, you know, worlds and whatever. There's not just one kind, there's several. You know, some might not be telepathic, or what do you call it?
Telepathic.
Telepathic, yeah, thank you. Yeah, they're not, you know, telepathic, but they could, you know, speak a different way or, you know, whatever. It's just like us.
I think they're telepathic. They definitely can read my mind. Each time I've been able to sit there in the backyard or wherever I'm at and have time to chill out and ask them something, like usually I'll say, hey, do my parents miss me? They'll shoot across the sky. It's a very interesting thing, this relationship that I have with these UFOs. I can't call them ETs because I don't know who pilots them. You know what I'm saying? All I see is the actual UFOs that fly over. And what trips me out about the UFO community lately is there's a lot of people that claim to have all the answers for some reason. They've even talked to the UFO pilots. Have either of you guys ever talked to an alien?
No.
So what do you guys think about people that have talked to aliens, or do you guys think they're genuine? We the baseline is we know UFOs are real. But do you think anybody has had any contact with a alien? Greenman, go ahead.
Yeah, somebody absolutely. You know, where are we talking like governmental or outside government?
Anybody in the world. I have never met an alien, but I have seen UFOs. I'm wondering, do you think that the people that actually talk to UFOs and have or ETs and have answers, are they legitimate?
Case by case. You know, you've got
great answer. It's all mitigating circumstances for sure.
You've got a lot of strange people. You know, it's something to say. You know, it would a show on the topic calling. You know, but yeah, there's some really
reptiles.
Yeah, you know, lizard baby.
So, Greenman, who would be the most important or your favorite person in ufology that you would consider almost real to have maybe said they had contact with UFOs or aliens? I keep saying UFOs. Sorry.
Well, dude, if Stanton Freeman had come out and said, "Yeah, I shook hands with an alien," I'd be like, "It fucking happened." You know, he was a by the book science. You know,
anybody currently that you might have respect for in the UFO field?
Richard Dolan.
Yeah, you have respect for Richard?
Yeah. I mean, I don't watch all of his stuff, but he still seems to be, he's working it, making a living off the, lecture circuit, and he's on TV all the time and stuff. But
he does know it.
Yeah, and he seems to be, have a more factual mind. He doesn't veer off to, he tries to stay pretty solid to eyewitness. This happened. Something can corroborate it. The evidence that piles up, as opposed to the onesie doozy. Alien crashing in my backyard.
That's a great point, Greenman. He doesn't try to be a showman like a circus. Sure, he just tries to state the point.
Yeah, he just tries to weed through the facts and kind of like present what's there. And that's one of the things I like about Manny. He goes through it, and he just tells you, hey, this is it. You want to go look it up, keep looking it up, make up your own damn mind. But hey, this is
Manny's super cool. Yeah, Manny's super cool. Greenman, I'm sorry, Gamevet. Have you? I just lost the question. What was I just talking about with Greenman? Who do you think is legitimate in ufology? Gamevet.
I would say Richard Dolan.
Yeah.
There's people that you don't hear about ever, and which I find is fascinating. And that is, I have one written down here. Is Dan Aykroyd?
Yeah.
He's heavy into it.
Oh,
He's one of my heroes altogether. I mean, he's just a great guy. Another
Yeah,
one which is fascinating too is I don't know if too many people know about this, but Jackie Gleason was also heavy into it. Believe it or not, he really was. He believed it.
well, he had a little cadet. Have you ever heard the Nixon story?
Yeah.
Where Nixon supposedly was that they were down in Florida. Nixon rolled up one night all by himself in a car, picked up Jackie Gleason at his house, took him to an Air Force base, and
Yeah.
opened a coffin basically and said, "There you go, Jackie, have a look."
Wow.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall when that happened. Could you just imagine? Jackie Gleason says, he walks in there and he says, well, hello,
There's-
Mr. UFO.
You can almost see the face he'd make when his jaw dropped.
Yeah.
No,
What's that?
there's got to be something to the UFO subject for sure. But my current favorite, who a lot of people do not like for some reason, he was actually a guest on Richard Dolan a while ago, was this Chris Bledsoe. Have you guys followed this Chris Bledsoe story at all?
No, I haven't.
You guys should check it out. There's a little bit of feedback coming from somewhere. You guys should check out the Richard Dolan Chris Bledsoe episode. He's an experiencer that claims to see UFOs over his house constantly, and he was refuted by MUFON a lot of times. And he finally got investigators to come over and check out what he was saying, and they did experience similar things that he was saying. But some of the things that he would say are a little bit far-fetched for me. Like ETs took him away and they cured his Crohn's disease and brought him back, But a lot of the things that he talks about when he's actually revisiting the UFOs that he's seen resonates with me. So I kind of like him. But a lot of the other things that he says about what the UFOs or ETs tell him, I just can't buy it. So it's a little... catch 22, but I think he's a great guest. If you guys get a chance, check it out.
Yeah.
But let's Greenman. Sorry. I wanted to talk about your show last night. How did with the Dark Horde? How did you get involved with that? Did you email Manny and say, "Hey, let's set this up"? Or what happened there?
Oh yeah, it was just through the Discord, and I just. Hey man, dude, if you ever want to do a call-in show, I got stories, and just, I thought I was going to call in, tell a couple quick stories and that it. And, Manny turned the whole show out of me.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that's cool.
So Greenman, when did you start playing music? That's what your music's phenomenal.
I got my first electric guitar when I was 13. So I've been playing for 33 years.
33 years. Yeah. What was the biggest crowd of people you ever played for in a show?
Let's see. I think it was probably there's a you know the Belly Up, right?
I'm sure I can bring back that memory cell somehow.
Because you were up at Pendleton.
Yeah, I was in.
Did the Belly Up one time. And the place was pretty much sold out. I think that was probably about 250, close to 300 people.
What was that experience like?
It was awesome. It was great. I love playing shows, whether I'm playing for 10 people or for 100. I loved playing shows. That was like one of the best things for me. How
does writing a song work? Is it tough work, or does it just come naturally? Does it just come from the ether to our brain?
That's always the way the bands that I was in always tried to have it. It's like, just for me, I'd always just plug into my amp and just screw around. and stumble across something. Oh, okay, cool. I got to, I like this, and I'll play through it a bunch of times. And if something, the next part, sometimes it'll just flow. Sometimes I'll have the part for a long time. I've got a couple parts that I, wrote when I was in junior high that I still dig, but I still can't come up with anything else for it. It just doesn't fit. You know,
Gotcha.
but a lot of time with the bands, it'd be one of the members would come in. Hey, I've got a guitar rhythm, or I got a bass line, or I got some vocals. It's about this. Give us a topic and just kind of jam through it and let things naturally just kind of flow. Because all the bands that I was in were, kind of, heavy, but always tried to stick like groovy and kind of organic. Kind of like a 311 vibe, type thing to where it all fit, and it kind of like could put you in a mood and kind of take you on a little trip or something type thing.
For sure.
So
Sorry.
Yes,
Gamevet, have you ever been in a band?
No, I'm not that talented.
But you do have some great talent. You remade a original Knight Rider car from what I'm correct?
Yeah, I built one from the basically ground up. I built one from the ground up. I restored a 85 Trans Am and turned it into the kit car.
Did the original kit car have T-tops? I don't remember.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
So how did you get the idea to do this? What motivated you to make a Knight Rider car?
Well, it's a funny story. We were actually this is why alcohol is probably not a good thing, but we were we were all sitting around by a fire, and I had the car parked by the fire pit and looking at it, and I'm like, I said, I wonder what should I do to this car? Should I just restore it? And my buddies are like, yeah, what color are you gonna go with? And I'm like, I don't know. We were just pounding them back, thinking, what colors we should do. And I said, you know what? I got an idea. How about I turn this thing into a Knight Rider car? And everybody says, no way, and we were all drunk and whatever.
Did they take you serious? Did they think you could do it at the time?
No, they didn't think I could do it at the time. They said, man, you're so far in the bottle, you'll never get that thing done. And I did it.
Did you think you could get it done?
I knew I could. I just didn't know how long it'd take me to do it. But
how long did it take you to do it?
I had the car for 8 years. It probably would have only taken me like 4 months if I had everything, like all the money to do it. But I just buy a part at a time. Buy this here, buy that there, and stuff like that. So it really didn't take me long. It's just saving up for the money to buy something else took the longest.
Now, did you make the whole original dashboard and all this?
No, that was purchased. The guy in Canada, he makes them. So, but I had to do all the wiring. I had to wire it all to the car and all that stuff. So all the front lights for the red light in the front and the all the headlights in the front nose and the brackets and all that stuff, I had to wire up and mode up and all that stuff. And I tore out all the carpeting and bought the seats on eBay. They were blue, and then I had them shipped to Mexico, had them recovered and restuffed and brought up here. And I didn't even see the seats until they were done. So
how much money did you overall spend on it, and did you make any money off of it?
I didn't really make any money off of it. It was just a labor of love, basically. You stick that much money into a car like that, you never get it out. But I probably spent around $12,000 to $13,000 on it.
Wow.
Just in the parts alone, not including the car cost.
I would hope you recouped your money.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, awesome. Greenman, have you ever rebuilt and reestablished a cool car?
My first car was a '67 Mustang.
Nice.
Wow. Convertible? Was it convertible?
No, it was a coupe. The car itself actually had some history because out here there's
Greenman, Gamevet. Can you guys give me 1 minute? I really got to use the washroom. You guys,
sure.
Yeah, no problem. I got to go get my iPad charger anyway. So
okay. Well, I don't want to leave Gamevet hanging for 1 minute.
Well, I can tell a story if you want. I got a story for you guys if you want to hear it.
Go ahead.
Unless Greenman wants to hear it. You might
I'm
want to.
still gonna be listening.
All right. Okay. All right, guys. So this one, actually, if you guys ever heard about the Bet Spheres, if you look it up on YouTube, they're a silver basketball size round ball. What happened was about 7 months ago, I was driving to my stop as I was driving the 18-wheeler, and I happened to come up over this hill, and I happened to look over in the median where the cops, usually sit to pull over speeders. They come up over the hill. Something caught the corner of my eye. I'm like, what is that? And I look over, and here I saw 5 spheres. Sorry, alcohol talking. 5 spheres hovering above the road. They're hovering above the road.
Let me stop you right there, Gamevet. You could talk however you want, buddy. You're a guest on my show. Nobody's going to kick you off or say anything rude to you. So you just share your story, and we're all going to enjoy it. Okay, buddy?
All right, cool. So I have a picture. I have a drawing capability of a 5-year-old. But so this is what I actually saw. Let's see. Here's my.
Hey, Gamevet, Manny's in the chat room, by the way. What's up, Manny?
Oh, nice. Hi, Manny. How you doing? I was just telling.
Hold the picture up for a minute.
This is what I saw in the center median as I drove by where the police sit. These 5 spheres lined up. I mean, I can't draw it perfectly. I'm like a big 5-year-old. But so these 5 spheres, they were hovering above the road as I passed by. Now here's where it gets interesting. So I get to my stop. I didn't know what to think. So I'm like, okay, I just got to sit down. We had a break room in there and turned in my paperwork. I was sitting down. Did you see the picture, Greenman?
No.
All right, check this out.
Real quick.
So this is what I saw hovering above the road. Okay, 5 spheres, 3 up on top, 2 on the bottom, about 2.5 feet maybe above the road. Okay.
Nice.
So I'm at my stop. I dropped my trailer, all that stuff, and I'm waiting for them to load my other trailer. Now there's a guy that actually ran the route right behind me. He was about 15, 20 minutes behind me. So I'm sitting there. All of a sudden, the guy comes in, and he just looked like he was beside himself. He walks in the door. He says, "Hey man, how's it going today?" And he just had a blank look on his face, and I've never seen him look like that ever. So he turned in his stuff, and he sat at the table, and he was just sitting there. I'm like, I said, what's going on? What's the matter? You all right? And he says, yeah, I'm fine. And I said, did you see anything weird tonight? And that's all I said. I didn't say anything else to him. He says, now that you mention it, I did see something funny. I said, what's that? He says, well, I tell you what, I come up over this hill, and you know where the cops sit there above the hill there? I said, yeah. He says, I swear to God, and I'm not lying to you one bit, I swear I saw 5 basketball-sized stainless steel balls hovering over this road. And I said, can you draw me a picture of it? He says, yeah, I can. He grabbed a piece of paper, and he drew this same thing. Shit. So I know I'm not going nuts. He saw the exact same thing, and he was just standing beside himself when he was telling this story.
Wow, that's amazing. I just got back. I hear you. That's a great story.
That was just unbelievable.
That's cool.
And then just after this, 2 weeks later, and I'm not throwing this in there just to be cool or whatever. 2 weeks later, I was driving back from that same location, and this is honest to God, I saw something in the corner of my eye on my right eye, right? I look over, and here right next to my window, there's 2 of these things hovering right next to my window, the passenger window. And all of a sudden, they sped up, and they went right across my front windshield, and they just, like that fast, just gone. And that's the last I saw of them, but it was just nuts. Like Manny says, absolutely bananas, and I love him for that, saying that. So, yeah, it's just, I can't explain it. But I've never, ever, when I saw those 5, they never were a color. They were never red, blue, anything. It was very distinct that they were stainless steel. I mean, looking, you know what I mean? They were that color. It looked like they dropped off of a DeLorean, that there was the DeLorean had to poop itself or something. But that's what it looked like. I mean, there's
Little
no
DeLorean
other.
berries across the road.
Yeah, but yeah, that's it, man. I mean, it's just nuts.
That's amazing. That's amazing story. That's super cool. Greenman, have you ever seen a ball-shaped UFO or anything
One,
silver or metallic looking?
well, the one off the coast that I saw was ball shaped, but the only other sighting that I've had, and this I whenever I tell this story, I always got to say, you know, I woke up in the middle of the night, and if this was well, it was a dream, it was like no dream I've ever had.
Okay, go ahead. Sure.
So, little kid, I was probably 4 or 5, guesstimating. Woke up in the morning, go to the bathroom, walk out of my bedroom, and just this ultra, like you were saying, same Gamevet, just ultra bright white, just pure light,
Mhm.
just filling the whole living room. And I'm like,
Wow.
what's going on? I'm thinking, oh yeah, because the street would always have accidents. I'm thinking, oh, got a car flip over and it's facing upside down. I'm like, what's going on? And I kind of got out, looked out into the yard, and saw in my front yard this giant fucking white ball. That was, maybe 8 to 10 feet around diameter wise, and maybe 4 or 5 feet off the ground.
Close.
And,
wow, so close.
Yeah, I freak out. I hit the deck, start crawling towards the front. Because we had this big picture window in my room. I hit the deck, dude, and army crawling across the rug, to go up. And like I was saying, dude, if this was a dream, it was nuts because every touch, I felt the carpet with my hand, everything. When I got to the wall to kind of get up to the window, I could feel the cold on the wall, the texture of the stucco. And yeah, dude, peeked out the window and it was this giant white ball.
Wow. What happened to it? What did it do?
It just sat there. And then I'm starting I just got this, I need to get back to bed.
Uh-huh.
I need to get back to bed feeling. So the army crawled back across the living room, got my bed, dude. And that was it. The weird thing was the next day in the yard, there was a ring of grass that was like fucking 3 or 4 inches taller than the rest of the yard.
Wow.
And my mom still remembers that ring. So it wasn't just like, I'm like, remember that weird ring? She's like, yeah. I looked up, started researching weird grass rings and shit. And there's fungus or something called fairy rings that can do something similar, but it's usually like a long, prolonged thing.
Yeah, it's not overnight.
Yeah, and once this thing got mowed, it didn't grow back. It was like a time thing. So it was either, something in my front yard or an incredibly vivid dream that just timed up perfectly with this freak yard occurrence.
Wow.
So can I ask you something, Greenman?
Yeah.
How much of an area of light did it cover? How much area did the light cover that you saw?
Well, dude, I mean, this was a residential suburb.
Right. Did it light up at least like a block or something like that, or what do you think?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it lit up everything around. For at least a good half block.
Wow.
I could look out, see the 2 neighbors across the street. I could see their house clear as day. Every detail.
Can I tell you times I saw 2 bright lights in the sky?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, one time I was sitting in my friend's backyard in Edgebrook in Chicago, and the whole sky flashed like somebody was taking a picture of the whole sky. And me and him looked at each other like, what the hell was that? And then another time, the same exact happened in the same spot. Like, it looked as if it became daytime for one bright minute. You know, maybe it's a superstar exploding somewhere, but it was just too bizarre. And another time I had seen in my in the backyard just a straight up column of light. It was just a electric blue, like you're looking at an old 1970s TV, you know, that electric blue look, and it was just a straight down column from a start in the sky down to the ground. It was quite amazing to see, you know. But I'm on the same page with you guys, seeing these weird lights everywhere, especially big flashes of one and balls of them. It's crazy what's happening nowadays.
Have you
What do you-
have you ever seen like
Hey,
that during the day? Hey, Goofon's here. All right, how you doing? Reesh.
I got Gamevet. Reese.
No,
Game
sorry.
What were we gonna say, Gamevet, about your reactions to the things that I saw?
Okay, so you know, you were talking about the light you saw. It looked like somebody was taking pictures. Now, did you ever see anything like that during the day? Like you're walking around, and all of a sudden it kind of made like the pink, like it seemed like it got just a super fast flash, like somebody was
No.
taking a photo.
I'll tell you a great daytime one. I was chilling out with my friend in his backyard, my neighbor. His dad was my t-ball coach when I was a little kid. Backyard. He likes to do the fire pit, and so we're chilling out there all night. But I looked up, and there wasn't a flash, but I saw this ball of light coming at me. And what was weird about it, it looked like it rolled when it saw me, and it turned into this orange ball of light, and then it cruised over this way, and it was right over top of my friend's house. And I didn't want to alert them. I didn't want them to be like, "Oh my God, this guy's a weirdo." And I'm looking at the thing, and all of a sudden it just flashes super bright and then jets off to the side. It was crazy. It was kind of just saying, "Hey, what's up, man? Good to see you again." So, you know, there is a lot of personality with these UFOs, and I know Gamevet was talking about it earlier. He knows that they follow his truck. Sometimes they taunt him. Hey, Greenman, have you ever been taunted by a UFO? Just wondering. Have you ever seen anything where they kind of just like, wow, that's kind of weird they would do that?
I was just that one time off the shore. It was really the only time I thought it was kind of like dancing around, just to kind of like, yeah, we're here, neener, neener, you know, kind of thing. Other than that, you know, I've only had just the two, you know, UFO experiences. For some reason, it's more ghosts that seem to be.
I heard your story last night, and I remember you telling me your story in the chat room a long time ago. You had said that a ghost pushed you in a lake as a young child.
Yeah, it was a fucking little like water fountain type fish pond thing, you know. Yeah,
Like one of those koi ponds.
Yeah, well, not quite a koi pond. It was you know, a little water fountain, you know, that came out, you know, down the top, a couple tiers, but then at the base, the reservoir area was like, you know, they had these little micro fish in there that they were, you know, were keeping. And yeah, you know, I was down at this place. You know, we had family in from Washington visiting, and we were taking them sightseeing, and you know. My Uncle Jack was always, you know, he was like one of the cool uncles. All my uncles were cool, you know?
Right?
You know, he
but
was like,
super cool.
But he'd fuck with you. He'd grab your kneecap, put his fingers under your kneecap, and torture you. You know, that was just his thing. And he was sitting there, and you know, these little fish come up to the top, and he'd sit there and tap them, and they'd swim back down. And I'm like, oh, you know, I want to do that too. I want to do that too. And I'm up there trying to do it. And couldn't reach, got right up onto the rim and couldn't reach, and just, dude, just felt this hand, boom, right on my back. In I go, you know, come out. And dude, seriously, for like 42 years, I blame my uncle, you know, until I just saw this show that was
your uncle?
You know,
Yeah.
I always thought Jack did it, but, you know, I saw the show and, you know, they was talking about it. Didn't even know the place was haunted. And they're like, yeah, you know, people get pushed a lot, and I'm like, son of a bitch. Got me, and I never even knew it.
Now, Greenman, why do you think ghosts exist? Do you have an opinion on the matter?
either they're not ready to accept that they've died for one reason or another, whether they are afraid of going through, kind of the life trial, the life judgment. It's like you did this, you've got to deal with this, and they're afraid of that. They just don't know. They don't want to go for whatever reason. They're attached to somebody here that they over, kind of keep an eye on,
Gamevet does have the setup. He's got all.
Oh yeah.
He's got some cool nostalgic stuff. I was telling him about that earlier. I was like, man, I'd love to go hang out at your house and play some of those games.
Let's do it up, man. Let's do it up. Anytime you guys are up in Minnesota, let me know, man.
But you got Goofon and you got UFO Buster both in the chat room tonight, guys. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Thanks, guys.
That's super cool.
We got everybody here. I wanted to say hi to everybody. You guys are awesome. You guys, you guys keep me keep me awake at night and keep me on the road safe, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's super cool. They are awesome people, man. That's it was because of those guys we're all here tonight, and the virus.
Yeah, they do have Tempest Goof on. They have, they made a new cabinet with Tempest on it, so that's something to look for.
Hey, you know what? Let me see if I can get. Maybe I can get Goof on and UFO Buster to jump in the stream. You guys think it's possible?
Yeah, that'd be like the Brady Bunch, and we can all sit there and point at each other. Hey.
let me see if I can get him.
Your square has to move so I can go to the bathroom.
As a matter of fact, you know what? We'll save that for another night because I was only going to plan on doing an hour, and I think I got a good hour or more out of both you guys. And I just wanted to try this out and try out the web and talk to both you guys. I think you guys are super cool. You guys are wrenches in my chat, so you guys are awesome. You know what I'm saying? So
hey, Goofon says he'll join. I'm up to talk to for whenever. I'm up all night, man, so it don't matter to me.
Yeah, you guys, we'll figure out a way to talk more in the future. Is that cool? But we'll definitely talk on Discord, and we'll definitely talk in all the chat rooms of all the cool live streams. All right?
Goofon wants to join. I see you, Goofon. It's all good.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight, and then we'll talk more at another time. Is that cool?
Yeah, man.
Just
I'll end it with playing UFO Buster last night's show, and I'll let you guys chill out, and I'm just gonna chill out. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right, here, let me see, I'll get the stream rolling. Oh no, I just hit the wrong damn button. Of course. Hang on, I hope I don't stop anybody's screen. Let me see if I can get it back up real quick. Share screen.
Yeah, we could go. We could meet you up, Goofon. That's cool.
Tomorrow's gonna be a lot of shows on, and you got Goofon's coming on, who I like. I don't know if Manny Moonraker's gonna be on. Do you guys know if Manny's gonna be on tomorrow?
I think Manny's schedule, he said, was gonna be Tuesday.
All right, so I'm gonna say goodnight to Gamevet and Greenman. I'm gonna let this play. You guys chill out in the chat room. I'll probably let it play for another 15 minutes, and then I'll be wrapping up. Okay, guys.
All right. Well, thanks for having us on, man. I appreciate that.
Thanks, guys.
All right, you guys are awesome. You guys know I think you guys are both super cool, and you guys reached out to me, and Gamevet, you started talking to me a long time about UFOs, and Greenman was super cool to me, and Manny's chat, and so it's all been fun from there. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate both you guys.
Well, good. Hearing Manny always talking about you in the chat, man. That's what got me onto the live stream and in there anyway, man.
Yeah, you guys are
Who the hell is this Gooter guy?
Gooter. Hey, we have Gooter here.
I just like to talk. I just like to have fun and talk. I like the conversation rolling. I like chat rooms and stuff like that. So I just like to keep them rolling. That's my whole shtick.
Yeah, we can keep it going, man. We got tons of stories. It's all good.
Yep.
All right, guys. We will definitely talk more. All right, I'm going to say goodnight to Greenman and Gamevet. You guys subscribe to their channels and say hi to them when you see them, okay? I'll see you. I'll see you guys soon. I'm gonna let the Manny Moonraker Greenman show from last night play. Okay.
Sounds good.
I'll see you, Gamevet.
All right.
Bye, guys. Later. All right. Let me play this Moonraker show, and then we'll. Scooter, that's me. Well, why isn't it playing?
And Greenman is here with us right now. Greenman, what's up? How you doing?
Hey, everybody. How's it going? How you doing, Manny?
I'm doing great. I think I was talking on mute for the first part of that. So it happens. By the way, this is Manny Moonraker. This is the Dark Chord. And this is a special episode because we have one of our what will you say, our regulars, Greenman. You hear his name all the time. And he's going to join us today to tell us some ghost stories. And then we're going to find out a little bit about his musical background as well. And that should be fascinating. Oh, in addition, we also have Mrs. Moonraker here. Say hello.
Hey, guys.
Let me just give a quick shout out to the folks that are in the live chat right now. We have Adam Baum has arrived. Greenman's in there also. I guess he's doing like double the work here. Pucky, and we got Mr. Num Nums, the Norm. There's like way too many people already. What the heck's going on here? The whole gang's here. Like I said, Greenman's one of them that you hear normally all the time. But in chatting with Greenman over the last few months, he kept on saying, hey, I've got some ghost stories, some that are just crazy. A lot of them, I heard growing up. But we've got him here today to share some of these with us. So what's up, Greenman? What do you got for us? What's your first story?
Well, the first one I would say would probably be it happened at a place called Casa de Estulio. It's in this old town area of San Diego. It's actually right down the road from the Whaley House, and that whole section is haunted. I was there one time visiting some of my family had come down from Washington State, and we took them out there. We're visiting, and it's this old place. It's kind of like a round donut, with a big open courtyard in the center, and they had a bunch of these little kind of like wishing well type fountains, and they had them stocked with all these little, like little goldfish. And my Uncle Jack, he reaches over and taps one on the top, little fish shoots back down, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I was, like 4 or 5 years old, I'm trying to reach, couldn't reach, kind of get up right on the rim. And as I'm reaching for the fish, I feel this hand on my back, and I go right into the pond and come back out. And, my mom sees what's going on. She's a couple ponds over, runs over and gets me out, all freaking out. And I am automatically blaming my Uncle Jack. Like, Jack, why'd you throw me in? Jack pushed me. And my mom's like, no, Jack was standing over there with the other pond with me. No, he pushed me. And so anyway, it was actually a couple of years ago. I didn't even know the place was haunted. I had never heard anything about it. It was a couple of years back on a documentary that was talking about the whole old town area. And they start talking about this place. I'm like, oh, crap. And they're like, yeah, one of the things that's reported the most is people are pushed.
Oh, really? There you go.
And I'm like, oh, shit. So I get on the phone with my mom. I'm like, Mom, remember that time I fell in the pond? Yeah. Where was Jack? She's like, he was standing right next to me. So when I fell in, there was nobody around me. She's like, no, you're all by yourself. And Jack was there. He came over to the pond where I was in. We were sitting there talking, and all of a sudden, you're in. I'm like, okay, because dude, I felt 5 separate fingers right in the middle of my back.
That's
Right.
freaky.
Little bastard, push me in.
He was lonely.
Yeah. Yeah. You just got a bone to pick with somebody, and I was the stupid little kid on duty today. So.
The particular
But,
place that you're talking about seems like is like really, really old, I guess.
Yeah. It was actually completed. I did a little research. It was actually started 1827 and finished 1829. And it was like a religious center for the early Mexican and American settlings, around there.
Mm-hmm.
And then turned into a family house. And then was actually, when they moved out, it, was starting to fall apart. And then a guy named Spreckles here in San Diego bought it and fixed it up. And, then they did the whole Old Town refurbishing thing and turned it into a tourist thing.
Yeah, that's crazy, especially when you make places like that into tourist places. And it's really cool when it actually happens to the people that actually go there. Not that the people actually think it's cool.
The people.
Exactly. And, but the thing is, it's like this place, especially back then, they didn't have it advertised. The only place that, we knew was advertised as being haunted then was the Whaley House. So, right in that same strip, you've got the Continental Hotel, and then you've got this place. And they weren't giving anybody else a heads up. Hey, here's 50 cents a ticket, go on in. Oh, yeah, by the way, watch out for the ghosts.
Yeah, exactly.
And take your flippers. You might go swimming.
Yeah, exactly. And an extra towel.
Now, what's funny is that, and just in listening to, I guess, the pre-show, it almost seems like you're sensitive to this type of stuff.
It does. I have had a lot more encounters with like ghosts and stuff than I have with UFOs. I mean, we've gone through the UFO stuff, but it seems like, because I've gone to, the Whaley House and gotten pictures of weird things. I've gone to the Winchester House and gotten a picture of a face staring out of a window.
Wow.
One time, went to the Whaley House. I actually lucked out and got into the paranormal class, parapsychology class that the junior college I went to offered like one semester, and luckily I got in. And that was our field trip place. And I got a picture of going down the hallway, and on the halfway down the hallway is the perfect silhouette.
Oh my
of,
God.
like a woman with long hair.
Wow.
And it's on the negative.
I just got pushed off the. Hang on, let me switch the camera. I gotta switch the camera real quick. Hang on. I almost just got pushed off this fucking stool, man. I was over there agitating the ghost, trying to do EVPs, and now it's pushing me off the stool here. That's a great story. Greenman's got a cool story. Who the hell gets into a parapsychology class in college? I want to do that. I'm going to start researching that right now. I'm going to join a parapsychology college. I'm going to do it. Should I do it? I might blow their minds away. They might have never heard of the things I have to say. Their college. Parapsychology college. I think I could do it. I might be a professor there. I got the cool glasses for it now. Even though I think I picked the wrong ones. I just picked them off the shelf. I can't see shit. Can't see shit. I've had a cold for like 6 months now. Got a poor sister. She's in a nursing home. She can't get any guests. She can't get any visitors. What's going on in chat? What are you guys talking about? Are you guys behaving? I can't tell if you guys are behaving. Are you guys sure you're all right in chat? I finally get to go see my granddaughter. I'm excited about that. I'm going to get on an airplane. That's fun. I can't wait. I hope they don't quarantine me for 14 days. That would suck. That would suck. Who wants to do that stupid shit? You know what? I'm gonna hug my granddaughter too. I'm gonna give her a big hug. I don't give a shit. Oh, you tell me I can't hug my granddaughter? Kiss my ass. I'm gonna hug her right there in her daycare. She goes to the little gymnastics daycare. It's fun. She loves to jump around. She loves to jump around. Fuck. Hang on a second. Yo.
Hey, Dave, what's going on, man?
Yo, hey, hang on 1 second. All right, hang on 1 second.
Okay.
Hang on. Hang on. I'll be right back. I got to take this call. I'll be right back.
The front door was open, light coming in, light going around the shadow. The door behind me was open, same thing. So it couldn't have been my shadow. The light from the front door would have washed it out. It was there, solid on the negative. I took it to my teacher, and she's like, "Yeah, can I have a copy of this?" Yeah, sure. The Winchester house. Walking around the front, and I was purposely thinking, okay, take 2 pictures of everything that you see, just in case something shows up in one, not in another. I was out front, right up to, that the second floor room where it's got the door that drops out right out to the front yard. It was one of the windows in that room looking out. And I take 1 picture, I take another. I look at them later on. 1 picture is just the window in the middle of the window, and the next picture is a face.
Mm.
And, if you've ever been to the Winchester house, they've got those rooms all roped off. So you can only go in maybe 5-6 feet into the room, and, nowhere near enough for like somebody to be close to the window and you see their face.
Right.
They're far enough back. And I was in the front yard at ground level. So I was shooting up.
Wow.
So yeah, it seems like, I have more sensitivity to this, I guess.
Yeah, it does. And actually, someone that I know wants to go to the Winchester house.
That is awesome. I've actually wanted to go there for a while. That is awesome.
Go around Halloween time, because they have a midnight lights out tour, and you walk around with flashlights.
Oh, that's perfect.
It is sick. It is super cool.
Like she wants to go during the daytime,
with candles and prayers, rosaries, and so.
Oh yeah, do both.
Like this, I love supernatural stuff. It's fascinating, just because my mom is sensitive to stuff like this too, and she sees things and feels things, and she'll tell me, like in our own house, and she'll tell me, and I'll tell her, "Mom, do you want me to keep visiting? You might want to keep this to yourself." And she's like, "Yeah, you didn't feel that? You didn't see that?" I was like, So I love this kind of stuff, but I'm the biggest chicken in life. I am just the biggest chicken, so I love it, but I'm scared.
All right, so that's the first story that we got for Greenman. So the other thing that people might not know is that you had a bit of a little music career going on.
Yeah, I had a couple bands. Did a lot of local shows from probably about 97 to 2010 or so. A couple different bands.
So what I figured would be cool for everyone is I was going to play a track, but before I play the track, I was going to give you the name of the track, and then you were going to tell me something about it. Like, basically, why did this track come about? What affected it? What was happening during the time when this track was being put together? So the first one I got queued up is Flowers.
Flowers. Okay, Three Flowers. It was a song we were working on. The bass player kind of came to the jam with just like the basic melody, and we kind of progressed the song all together from there. And he had the name Three Flowers. Like, dude, where did you get this name? And so, oh, dude, you know the Tres Flores, the stuff you put in your hair. Yeah,
grease,
like,
right?
well, Three
Grease.
Flowers, man. I thought it'd make a cool song name.
Oh, that is funny.
Okay, so we just ran with it,
That is funny.
There you go. It works. By the way, who was that? Who was that? Gutter. So Gutter is in the live chat, and he says you sound a little like Tom Selleck.
Well, I don't have a mustache at this time. If you're gonna be Tom, man, you got to be sporting the cheesy '70s Village People mustache.
Yeah, yeah. They don't even call those mustaches. That's the stash. It's way too cool.
Oh yeah.
All right, folks. We're gonna play the first track called Three Flowers.
Saw you just the other day, smiled at me, you walked away. You look so fine, you blew my mind, girl, but I don't even know your name. We like to hang with this crowd, you're friends with my friends loud. You live up on the hill, but that won't stop me from taking you down. I like to bring you down, I like to lay you down. I like to get you on the floor, baby, mess you around, you know what I'm saying, girl? Watch you move, girl. What you see is what you get. I thought you knew, girl. You think I'm no good, yeah. I thought you knew. What you see is what you get. You're hard to forget that, baby. I can get you wet. You can love me or leave me. But girl, make up your mind. 'Cause a man like me, girl, a man like me, yeah, got a hard fight. I saw you briefly in the hall. You gave a kiss and then a call. We go and watch a movie, then we quickly bail the mall. Head to the beach, the hands are fun. Feel that till the sun is done. That's when I'll pull you close, girl, and tell you you're not the only one. But I thought you knew. What you see is what you get. Too hard to forget that, baby, that I can get you wet. You can love me or leave me. But girl, make up your mind. 'Cause a man like me, girl, a man like me, yeah, got a hard fight. Yeah, I thought you knew. Yeah, I thought you knew. Yeah, I thought you knew, girl, what you see is what you get. Do you better remember? Do you better remember? Do you better remember, baby? Better not forget. Thought you knew. What you see is what you get. Too hard to forget there, baby, that I can get you wet. You can love me or leave me, but girl, make up your mind. 'Cause a man like me, girl, a man like me, yeah, got a hard fight. Yeah, I thought you knew. Yeah, I thought you knew. Yeah, I thought you knew, girl, what you see is what you get. So you better remember. You better remember. You better remember, girl. Better not forget. I can get you wet. Hey. Better not forget.
Blue Chicken's here. What's up? Sorry, I had to take a phone call. Let me switch over to my face. You could look at my uncooked chicken face. I'm sure you guys don't want to see it. I had to take a phone call from one of my buddies at work. He's all worried. What's going on in chat? People are deleting their fucking comments in chat. What's going on there? You guys all right? Is everything cool in chat? I see UFO Busters there. Blue Chicken's there. Saw Goofon. Goofon was there. Can you guys hear me? Is the microphone working? Is this thing working? I don't know if anything's working. I think I got the wrong. Man, I feel terrible. I had Spaced Out Radio and Goofon on the other night. And I had the wrong damn microphone. You know, Spaced Out Radio is like, oh, you sound kind of tinny. I'm like, I sound tinny? I was like, what the fuck? And I didn't even think about checking the audio settings. And then I looked at the audio settings. I had the wrong damn microphone on the whole time. I must be stupid. I gotta be stupid. What would I do so stupid?
So we're back again with Greenman and also Mrs. Moonraker, Daya. And we're talking to Greenman because he is sharing all of his ghostly stories, his experiences, and along with that, adding a little bonus about music history when it comes to his time playing with the band. And that first track, Three Flowers, great track. I see the guys in the live chat box, they enjoyed it. So tell us another story. What other kind of crazy experiences did you have when it comes to the paranormal?
Well, a couple places that I lived, house growing up, really, you know, we had like kind of like a half lower level that just was, it wasn't always creepy. You know, like as a kid, I could go down there, play for a couple hours, and just out of nowhere, just feel, you know, daggers staring me in my back, and just this feeling like, okay, I need to get out of here. And it always seemed to come from, there was this one access door that led underneath the house, and always seemed like, you know, I looked at that door and it was almost like it was staring me down, you know. And at that same house when I was a kid, I had nightmares. This white bulldog would come chasing me, you know, and chase me down the hallway, down in my folks' room every night for months, you know. Then another place that I lived at, this was actually involved Mrs. Green was, I get a text I'm working one day, I get a text from her, and she's like, the front door just opened and closed all by itself.
Uh-oh, time to move. Did you say it's time to move?
And I'm like, well, what? And I'm like, okay, dude, I'm a locksmith. So the first thing I go through is, okay, was the door fully latched? Was it closed all the way? You know, no, it unlatched itself, slowly swung open, hung there for a second, and slowly closed itself and fully latched itself again.
Oh, no. Time to go.
No.
Time to go.
I would be calling from the driveway moving out already.
You know, so she's freaking out. And I'm like, well, you know what? Has anything happened? Or because you had the pups were there. You know, are the boys freaking out? You know, because if something's bad, you know, I trust dogs have instincts. They see things. I know, you know, the pup I got now, Igor, he sees his old brothers. He sees shit, you know. And she's like, no, the boys are fine. The boys are fine. I'm like, okay, well, are you feeling creeped out? No, it was just the door. It was really weird. I'm like, okay, well then just relax. You know, they're not gonna mess with you. Just relax. And you know, that was one of the things. And my big boy at the time, Groucho, he would always be watching something going in and out of the kitchen at that place. But he'd just sit there and just stare, and his head would tilt towards the kitchen, come out of the kitchen, go back, and he'd just sit there and just watch it go back and forth. And one night we were sitting there watching TV, and we hear it wasn't like a cat. These were big footprints run across the roof. And I look at my wife. She says, what the hell is that? Somebody's going to break in the house. I go outside real quick, look around. Yard empty, nobody on the roof. Go all the way around the house. Nothing. But it was boom, 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 all the way across the top.
Oh, wow.
Listen, if we hear stuff like that, we'd have to like skip. We have to like toss a coin and see who has to go outside.
Yeah, basically. And then if I lost, we'd have to do best 2 out of 3. So yeah. No.
Now I could just imagine,
scary.
and you know, it's funny you say that about dogs because Bugs, a lot of times, you know, he's supposed to be hunting UFOs, but sometimes he'll just get up, just out of a dead sleep, and stare and look around the room, and we're like, "What the hell is wrong with him?" You know, It's like, what is he looking at? And you know, and then the barrage of farts comes out, and that's it. We need to get him out of the room.
Well, see, that's his defense system. He sees something bad, he goes into protect mode, and then he tries to immediately gas anything bad away.
Exactly. He gasses us all the time, so I don't think it'll work with spirits either. That is just hilarious. Yeah, a lot of that stuff too, because we've even got stories with each other about growing up, that some of the scary things, especially in places that you live, when they have a long history of being built and so many people living in them, and a lot of times people die. Like before the show, I was telling Greenman and the missus about a story about the brownstone that we lived at in the Bronx. But one of the things that I forgot to tell you guys was that the owner, his mother died in that brownstone, and he often thought that he would see her walking through the brownstone. And, you know, we as kids, we had so many terrible, horrible, scary-ass experiences in that building that, I don't know, it was just crazy. But there was a basement, of course, New York, there was a basement, and
This is cool. I must have missed this part of the show. I don't know why. I think this is some cool insight by Manny. Did you guys hear this stuff? He was in a brownstone in the Bronx. How many people can say they did that in their life? And it was haunted, for fuck's sake. It's crazy.
I would run past the door to the basement, kind of like what Greenman's saying right now. There's something about basements that are just creepy and just fucking evil. And we know this from the Amityville story, right?
Oh, yeah. Bad things have to happen somewhere. It's got to be a basement.
Yeah,
It's got to be in the
basically.
basement. Yeah. And people that get abducted, they end up in basements too.
What I was looking for a place to live one time, and I checked out this little cottage. It was freaking weird, man. It was like built for short people. But the creepiest thing was that out the side of the house, there were like the old school cellar doors that led down to like, it was a 6 by 6 by 7 foot high concrete little bunker type thing with a single like 4 by 4 I-beam, wood pillar up in the middle with an eyelid on it. It looked like a little dungeon like somebody's little torture chamber, and it went down in there, and it was the same kind of thing. It was like, there's something wrong about this. It's California. Nobody has basements, nobody has cellars and stuff like that in California, but this guy's got his own little like torture den in his place. It's creepy.
Yeah, it was there for some reason, that's for sure. No kidding.
Yeah, and it didn't look like for a good reason.
So the next track that we have on here that we're going to play for the folks is called Flow. What's up with this track?
Flow was one of the very first songs from the band. The band's name, by the way, was Blow Up Betty. And it was just kind of like one night, the original crew was sitting around, what are we going to call ourselves? Bouncing names off all day. And it just got to the point to where we've been doing it so long, we just thrown it out all these goofy names. And the singer at the time, his wife, was like, well, if you're going to call yourself something stupid like that, might as well just call yourself Blow Up Betty.
Oh, there you go.
And we're like, fuck, we love that. Hell yeah. And it was just one of the very first songs. We had a little piece that started off when most of the tunes it would start with like a seed of I've got this riff or I've got this, and we just jam through it and let it try and like naturally progress and see where the song kind of wanted to go itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get a full piece and then kind of tailor, well, this is too long and that's too long and that's too long. And Flow was kind of one of those things, just had, hey, I got this cool line here. Boom. Okay, well, cool. Hey, this fits with this line that I've got. We can put them together and, it just all gelled out like that. That's pretty much all there is to Flow. Just a cool.
So here's the question: what are the names of the band members, especially like the lead singer and stuff like that?
The lead singer at that time, his name was Leon Cruz. The bass player is. I'll only give his first name because he's kind of weird. He gets sketchy. He was the weird one.
How did I do that?
Cool.
Let's get ready for some Flow.
Here's the last song, guys, and I'm out. Thank you for being here. You guys rock out. Rock out. Rock out while we can.
So what you tripping on now? Said what you tripping on? So what you tripping on now? What you tripping on? What you tripping on? You will only be unstable. Saving for break, can we come back? Way one on this enough, son. Like a bullet down a song, stick around, you get stung. And hey, and I got you all looking at me deep. Across and it's past your letter 6 feet deep. Hold up, what you see is time to go to sleep. Send you to the talking while we set us on free. It's not mystical, magical, lyrically acrobatical, grammatical to erratical. No time to get dramatical. So what you tripping on now? Said my friend, check it out. So what you tripping on? Stupid motherfucker. Well, tell me what's around you chicken. Trying to get on low. Then you started sinking. So I'ma put it in a package, rubbing everything with on. Sign it with the rhyme, show them how I'm living. Coming on the run, having fun, I'm never slipping. Shun by the spark, cause my mind is never tripping. Rising with my wisdom is reverbed, I'm shedding light. Knowledge being shouting like a veggie in the night. I'm a demon with this dialect with over gonna drown ya. Down with his hounds, so the hell we got to hound ya. Crazy with that versus, cut the versus, homicidal, verbal king in the ring. Man, take a glimpse at the title. So what you tripping on, man? Check it out. So what you tripping on? The music we do is to not be heard. But don't you see it blurred? The theory's come absurd. So follow the righteous with this vicious attack. Get in our way and we're gonna stop you monkey dead in your tracks. What you tripping on now? So what you tripping on? What you tripping on now? What you tripping on? Say, boy, what you tripping on now? What you tripping on? What you tripping on, man? I said, what you tripping on? So what's your trip, man? Yeah. What you tripping on, man? Said what you tripping on, man? What you tripping on, man? What you tripping on?
That ghost almost kicked my ass. I'll see you guys. It's a fight tonight. That bastard.